Well, hello everyone. What a distinguished gathering of musical figures. I was more used to being around ladies or other castrati. I was born in 1705 to Salvatore Broschi and his wife Caterina Beres in Andria, Italy, just above the heel of the boot. My father was a composer and chapel master of the cathedral. When I was 7, my family moved to Naples, where I eventually became a pupil of Nicola Porpora, an Italian composer and famous teacher of singers. Haydn was also a pupil of Porpora. Oh gosh, Franz, I know you were not there at the same time I was. You were 30 years younger than me and able to take advantage of how I, as a student, improved Porpora's teaching. When I was 15, I made my debut in Naples, singing Porpora's serenata Angelico e Medoro. This was an opera, a serenata celebrating the birthday of Habsburg Emperor Charles VI. This was a female part, which you'd expect a castrato would always perform, but I think I sang more male roles in my lifetime. Famous all over Italy by the time I was 17, I was known as Il Ragazzo, the boy. But I got my stage name. One time I saw a crowd ridiculing another castrato performing in the streets. Of course, you know, we castrati were easy to pick on because of our condition. This fellow probably deserved the ridicule, however, because he wasn't a very good singer. I stepped in, and after I showed everyone how it should be sung, the crowd was silenced. And then they cheered me and demanded to know my name. That is when I said, "Call me Farinelli." By 19, I was performing outside Italy in Vienna, Bologna, Munich, among other cities. I was performing before emperors and in royal courts. When I was 25, Handel tried to entice me to become part of his company in London. Isn't that true, George Frederick? A few years later, I did go to London and joined a new company, which after a slow start attracted more audience than Handel's. My childhood teacher, Porpora, came to London and composed operas to oppose Handel. I sang in one that became Porpora's second most famous opera called Polifemo. I was a hero in the mythological story, singing in 5 scenes. Operas from my day are not performed much, but the aria Alto Giove, Hail Jupiter, was in a movie about my life in 1994. Some mezzo soprano singers have recorded this aria since. When I was 32, I received an invitation to visit the Spanish court. The Queen of Spain, Elizabetta, on the spot hired me as a chamber musician to King Philip V. Queen Elizabetta and some physicians there thought that my singing could help the king and his brother in his battles with depression. This is one of the early known attempts at music therapy. After Philip died, his son, King Ferdinand VI, continued my employment, and not only was I accepted for my performances, I was put in charge of all court entertainment. At the age of 45, I was knighted into the Spanish court. The third Spanish king I served was not as big a fan of music, so he gave me a generous pension and sent me away. I spent the last 20 years of my life back in Italy continuing charity work that I'd started in Spain and becoming a very proficient harpsichord player. I cannot be modest. I was the most famous opera singer of all time, not because I was a castrato, but because my singing range was unheard of and my technical skills were unsurpassed. My portamento slides were so smooth, my performances showed more expression and emotion than other performers. Women and even men passed out when they heard me holding a high note for what seemed like forever, but it was as long as a minute. I think I was also appreciated because when I was alive, I didn't brag much. There was a movie of my life made in 1994. It was nominated for an Academy Award as the Best Foreign Language Film and won a Golden Globe in that category. The film takes many liberties in portraying my life. It showed my brother and Ricardo and I as very naughty boys and men. I won't deny being impish, but the movie was glorifying the legend of castrati more than portraying the realities. One of the good things in the movie, it showed me singing an an aria, San qual nave, from my brother Ricardo's opera, Artaserse de Hasse. The whole movie isn't free yet, but you can see a couple of these arias on YouTube. Good luck to you. I wish you well in your studies.